Hi, my name's Sarah and I work for Portsmouth City Council. Kelly's asked me to talk to you today about why young people are so important, and I particularly want to talk about why the voices of young people are so important to me and to us in Portsmouth City Council. There are so many ways that you can make yourselves heard, and by being part of Student Voice, you're already doing that, and thank you, because it is really important that young people step up and make their voices heard. Things like your school councils are an important part of the process that we all go through in consulting with people. When your school asks you questions, whether that's through surveys or questionnaires, or whether that's actually teachers talking about your learning, it is so important that you answer those things honestly. Sometimes it's easy to just say what you think people want to hear, but actually when we ask those questions, we genuinely want those answers. On a busy day, it might often seem like your teachers don't listen to you, but please be assured that people don't start working in schools, working with young people, unless they do genuinely care about what it is you want to say, unless they genuinely want to make your learning better, make your school better, make it a place where people can be happy, can learn and can thrive. And that's the same in the council as well. We want our city to be a place where you can enjoy living, learning and thriving and being those young people of today and the citizens of the future. Within your school, again, there will be all kinds of opportunities, like leadership opportunities as prefects or mentors or anti-bullying ambassadors or cyber ambassadors. And those roles are important in shaping what happens to you and other young people in your schools and in our cities. Some of you might have been asked to sit on an interview panel for staff, and having been a member of staff, I have been interviewed by young people, and I have to say actually the questions from the young people I knew were the most important questions that I was being asked. And if you are ever asked to take part in something like that, please know that the teachers, the leadership team, the head teacher will really value the opinions that you give on occasions such as those. Unfortunately, making your voice heard doesn't always mean you're going to get what you want. We do all have to work within certain constraints, we have to work within laws, we have to work within frameworks, but actually the skills that you're learning through processes such as being part of COPs enable you to learn a whole load of skills that make you in a much stronger and better place to negotiate. And if you don't get your decisions taken on board the first time round, there may always be times that you can maybe find compromises and we can look at doing things together. Sometimes you'll be consulted on things. Sometimes you'll have what we call co-production, where actually the voices of the people in the room, whether that's parents, carers, young people, schools, services, professionals, actually work together to find a solution, jointly find a solution for everybody. It's not just about the schools as well. It's not just about what's happening in our day-to-day lives, but actually the voices of young people are crucial in the world and in the future. One voice that we've all heard very loudly recently is that of Greta Thunberg, and that has indeed changed the world. Politicians have thanked her. Ed Miliband said, "You've woken us up, we thank you." A survey in July last year said that Great British public concern about the environment had soared, and that was as a result of the initial protests by Greta Thunberg, but actually so many of you young people taking part in raising awareness in school strikes and in various different activities, which some of you may have done alongside your citizenship classes and so on as well. In December last year, the New Scientist magazine described the impact by Greta Thunberg and Extinction Rebellion as the year the world woke up to climate change. That's young people making a real difference. In history as well, we've seen many, many changes as a result of young people making their voices heard or sometimes taking action. And that would go back to things like that have come to light again really recently, talking about things like civil rights protests, the anti-war Vietnam protests, and students in France going back, feels like a long time ago, it was actually the year I was born, changing politics in France back in 1968 forever. And this summer, all around the world, we've seen young people, well, people old and young, black and white, people of colour protesting not just about the murder of George Floyd, the horrific murder of George Floyd, but actually about the racism and prejudice in society that means people do still get killed for the colour of their skin.